Have you ever come across the story of Ronald Red? He was a humble janitor who, when he passed away in 2014, had quietly built a fortune of $8 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. A janitor with $8 million in savings. He didn't hit the jackpot or receive a large inheritance. Instead, he simply saved diligently throughout his life and let compound interest work its quiet magic. The takeaway here is powerful. Your financial behavior often matters more than how smart you are. You don't need an elite education or a career on Wall Street to build wealth. With discipline, smart habits, and time, it's possible for anyone. As Morgan Housel says, financial success is not a hard science. It's a soft skill. How you behave matters more than what you know. Stick around for the next 10 to 15 minutes, and you might gain valuable insight into mastering that soft skill. This video breaks down key lessons from The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. The first concept is simple. Everything valuable comes with a cost. Picture this. You're eyeing a sleek new watch that would definitely catch people's attention. Maybe even impress someone special. You step into the store and find the perfect one. Now you have two choices, pay for it or dash out with it, assuming you've done your cardio. Of course, most people will swipe their card, not because they can't run, but because they understand that value comes with a price. The same is true for investing. Many strategies that aim for high returns, like holding a focused portfolio, come with a trade-off, volatility. There are exceptions like Peter Lynch, but generally the more you seek, the more risk you carry. Can you stomach seeing your portfolio drop 20% in just 1 week after a couple of disappointing earnings reports? If not, then maybe chasing maximum returns isn't your lane. Think about investors who saw Netflix's future early on and invested big. They'd be wealthy now, but could they have stayed calm in 2011 when the company lost thousands of subscribers and the stock plummeted 80%? Even if you didn't go all in on one stock, investing will still test your nerves. For example, if you bought into the S&P 500 back in 1980, you'd have seen 13 total years where your portfolio was down 20%, and roughly 8 months when it fell 50%. The market can build great wealth, but don't be fooled. It's not free. Volatility is the price you pay, and if you're willing to pay it, your future self may be very grateful. Now let's talk about how chasing more can lead us to ruin. One strange human trait is that we can be happy with what we have until we compare ourselves to someone who has slightly more. Someone might be thrilled to get a $2 million bonus until they find out the person next to them got $2.1 million. Suddenly, they feel miserable. Capitalism is excellent at creating wealth, but it also creates comparison and envy. That desire to catch up with others can push people to work harder and achieve more, which is good. But it also leads to a feeling that what we have is never enough. For example, to be in the top 1% of earners in the US, you need to make around $500,000 a year. That's what a successful doctor, let's call him Bill, earns. He's rich by most standards. He drives nice cars, travels, and lives well. But then he buys a vacation home in the Hamptons and discovers his neighbor is Stan, a CEO earning $10 million a year. Suddenly, Bill doesn't feel so rich. And guess what? Stan feels the same when he thinks about his old friend Michael Jordan, who is worth around $2 billion. Even Jordan sees people like Jeff Bezos at parties, worth over $200 billion, and feels small in comparison. There's always someone higher on the ladder. This kind of thinking can make people take huge risks to climb higher. Some have taken on so much leverage that they lost everything and even took their own lives. Others have broken laws, traded on insider information, and gone to prison. Some have sacrificed relationships, only to end up with broken families. As you start to build your own financial future, you may one day reach a level of wealth that most people can only dream of. But you must remember there's a point where enough is enough. Don't risk what you have and truly need for something you don't really need at all, just because someone else has it. The next lesson is about how we perceive other people's financial decisions. Often we think others are acting irrationally with money. One person spends thousands on luxury items, another hides cash under a mattress. But people's financial behavior is shaped by their unique background, their upbringing, experiences, values, and education. What looks crazy to you may be completely logical to someone else. Let's take lottery tickets as an example. Lower-income households in the US spend more than $400 per year on them, 4 times more than wealthier households. This happens even though a third of Americans can't come up with $400 in an emergency. Are they using their emergency fund for lottery tickets? It might seem irrational, but imagine their situation. They live paycheck to paycheck with no room for savings, no great job prospects, no vacation plans, no new car, and no easy way to send their kids to college without debt. For them, buying a lottery ticket is like buying hope, a small piece of the dream others already live. It's not so crazy when seen through their lens. This perspective helps us as investors. When we understand that others see money differently, we're less likely to copy strategies that don't fit our own goals. A billionaire might be focused on preserving wealth while you're still trying to grow it. Their portfolio won't work for you. It also helps us avoid investing in things we don't understand. Take GameStop's wild stock surge. If you're not a trader, that move probably wasn't for you. Acknowledging different perspectives makes you a more grounded investor. Then there's the reality of surprise events. Crises like the Great Depression, World War II, the 2008 crash, and the COVID-19 pandemic had huge impacts, yet very few saw them coming. Nassim Taleb calls these black swan events rare, extreme, and only obvious in hindsight. On Black Monday in 1987, the market lost nearly 25% in a single day. Would you have sold in panic or stayed calm and maybe even bought more? Missing just the 4 best days in the market over 20 years could cut your returns nearly in half. The lesson: you can't predict crises, but you can prepare for them mentally and financially. Stop trying to time the market or obsess over forecasts. It's the unknown events that usually hit hardest. Finally, beware of the appeal of pessimism. If someone tells you why the market will crash, pointing to debt, inflation, or global instability, it sounds smart. But if someone talks about progress, longer lifespans, renewable energy, advancing tech, it might sound overly optimistic or vague. We naturally pay more attention to warnings. As psychologist Daniel Kahneman explains, humans are wired to focus more on potential losses than gains. Tragedies happen fast, while progress takes time. So stories of collapse are more gripping. But optimism, especially over the long term, is usually the more accurate lens. The world is better than we often think. So remember, to succeed in investing, you must accept volatility, avoid envy, respect others' perspectives, prepare for surprises, and not be seduced by pessimism. Your mindset is your greatest financial asset. Thanks for watching InvestingFlix. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and drop a comment below. For more expert insights on personal finance, investing, and wealth building, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out.